Keegan just said what up from the balcony. Is he on the fucking balcony right now?
All right, there we are.
Hey.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, a little more cozy.
Yeah.
In here.
Yeah. Let's all get nice and snuggly.
Oh yeah.
All right. So, greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Sons of Glitches live from the Las Vegas SSG LAN house. Hello.
Shenanigans.
Yes. Shenanigans. Absolutely. Thank you. This is the first just chatting stream we've ever actually done.
Yeah, and it'll become a podcast later. So
Yep.
If you have any questions for Mr. Jayman, I guess we should introduce him.
Yeah.
That would probably help. This is SSG Jayman, our fearless leader of SSG. And our clan that's been running for, what do we decide, 12 years?
Almost 10.
Almost 10.
So this will be the 10th year in September.
About 12 years that we've been playing together.
Yes.
Okay, so we're coming up on 10 years, and this clan that we've been playing in is Jay's brainchild.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we wanted to sit down and talk to you and kind of walk us through how SSG became SSG. I know I was there for it. I know the story, but talk to the viewers. Mike might not have heard some of this because you were within the last 4 years.
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
So it's been a long road, and somehow of all the clans, we are amongst the last standing.
Yeah. Stuck out.
So
Well, and one of the things that I think a lot of people who are listening to this would want to know is, because we're all involved in communities, we're all, we all love gaming, we all want to be part of something like an SSG. So how has it kept going this long, and what have you and Jet and the other guys who have had the reins for years at this
and Heathen,
point.
we know you're watching too.
Yep, Heathen as well. Bitty dance. Thank you guys.
Oh, we're gonna
Bitty dance. Everybody do a little bitty dance. There we go. Thank you guys. Start from
Sons of Glitches Bookers.
Yeah. Hi Neil. Start from the. I guess start from the beginning. Like how did SSG get started in the first place?
Okay.
So I found TTL, and I won't go into how I found it, but just like everybody else, I had been looking for a community, right? Because this was in the Halo 2 era, so online was still new, especially online for gaming, right? And so what we discovered was two things. One, it was awesome. Gaming online with anybody in the world, you always had a party, could always find people, could always find a game. But number two, it sucked. Because you had griefers, you had modders, you had hate speech, you had all of the horrible things that the internet brings out of people, right? Anonymity plus internet, right? We all know that. So all of that came about. And so I needed a place, because I didn't have any local friends that were playing with me. And so, or not on a regular basis enough, where I was playing. So I needed more people, but I needed more good people, right? And so at that time, this was 2005, probably 2006 or something like that. So social media really wasn't a thing. It was all forums. YouTube wasn't even really around hard. It was around, but not like it is now today.
Right. It wasn't ubiquitous the way it is.
Right. And so it was harder to find communities like that. You didn't have the Discords and all of these different things to organize people and collate the similar like-minded people together. So I found TTL, which is tied to leader. And so a lot of those guys, they're old hands at Halo. So they've been around for a long time if people don't know them. But they're another fantastic clan that has all of these checkboxes, right? They have a good organizational structure. They are very organized in how, who they recruit, how they let in. You have to be, it's the whole good game mantra, right? That we've kind of adopted as well. You got to be a good person. You got to play good. Everybody fights. Nobody
Wait,
quits.
Hold on. You have to play well.
Yeah. Well,
What the fuck am I doing here?
Intervention.
It's not an intervention yet, but we're gonna get there. So they had all these things that I liked, right? It was a good community of just good people that were looking for all the same things. So I liked it. Right. And so I kind of became a community friend there, and I was just meeting all the gunslingers and meeting all the other people that were there. So what happened is TTL wasn't recruiting. So they've kind of always had closed recruiting, and then
Yeah.
they kind of recruit
Pretty
as
rare,
they
pretty rare.
need people. But
Right.
they might only need one person every year, every 6 months, or something like that. So it's not very often. So
But just a quick frame of reference to give you guys an idea of the tier that TTL is at in terms of the gaming community. So TTL Cosmo was very involved in the Destiny community before the game dropped. Wound up being, thank you for the chicken noise. We're trying to do something in here.
I'm gonna guess that's heathen.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
That would make sense.
You freaking chuckleheads.
span.
Right.
Banhammer. But so Cosmo started out as TTL, wound up as a Bungie employee. So I mean,
And Deej as well.
Deej as well.
Yeah.
That's right.
So Deej started
Community
TTL.
manager, He's
Yeah.
the face
Yeah.
of Bungie these days.
So those guys are legit
Right.
in terms of their presence in the community.
Mhm.
And who've worked at Bungie at some point, doesn't? Did he?
I don't know if who ever did, but Goose,
Stop that.
but TTL Goose, he does Destiny Item Manager.
Yeah.
That must be
Yeah.
okay.
So-
That was good.
so
So I was
he's-
thinking of.
You know, so I mean, they've always had a good relationship with Bungie in general. So when it started with Halo 2 and then it went to Destiny, like so TTL's always kind of followed closely because Bungie has kind of worked with TTL when they've done promotions and things like that.
Right.
Like for instance, like when we were both TTL allies and stuff like that, we always had what's called the Bungie Rush at TTL because when Bungie would do their weekly What's Update or their Spotlight, they would spotlight or showcase TTL.
Right.
Everybody would go to the forums, everybody would want to be a part of it. And like I said, with the limited amount of recruiting they would do, you had so many people that wanted in or wanted a community like that. They didn't necessarily want TTL, they just wanted like-minded people. So
People breaking down the doors to.
exactly. So we saw some friends of ours branch off from TTL and do BSG, which is Buddy System Gaming.
Yep.
And
okay.
Which we did collect most of them later.
Yeah. So
They wound up inside the castle walls.
yeah.
right?
So then about a year later, I kind of looked at BSG and I was trying to figure out if I wanted to do TTL, BSG, wanted to go to some of these other clans because we had a bunch of sister clans that were part of.
Got to throw out the
Affiliate
Howling Commandos as well.
Yes.
That started what, 2 days?
Yeah.
apart from SSG?
Yeah, it was like
Something
2 or 3
that?
days, something crazy. So we collectively had all these sister clans, and that was the Good Game Network, right? We
That's
wanted.
Wolf.
This is Wolf, by the way, right here. So for
Sorry,
anybody
don't mean
who's
to interrupt you.
just popping in and hasn't actually watched this before, so Wolf, Jayman, Gambit.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
So we had the Good Game Network, and we had all these other communities, and they were all fantastic, right? So it was nice because we had this golden age of gaming, really, for us.
Oh, it's
like
phenomenal.
because with Halo 2 and Halo 3, we could have all these inter-clan tournaments, so
Right.
we could do
Oh,
all these
so
cool
much
things,
fun.
right? So
I miss it.
I wanted something.
Fuck off with your chicken.
I wanted a community that I really felt like belonged to me. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it.
Why not
right?
make one
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
actually belongs to
Right.
me?
I want to dive in.
If you build it,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so I reached out to
We
a bunch
can't
of
wait,
these.
what?
Yeah. So I reached out to a bunch of these people that had been floating around, right? So there's all these people that were kind of waiting at the gates, and then we were playing with, 5 days a week, probably at least. So
Yeah.
there was 10 or 12 of us, right?
Yeah.
So we call ourselves Allies for the Win.
Yep.
And so we had been gaming for at least probably 2 years almost.
I'd
18
say
months, maybe.
we were allies for I'd say
was a while.
at least 18 months. Easy.
So I typed up this big private message, sent it to everybody, and like 4 people right away were like, "Yep, I'm in. Let's do it." And then there was a couple people that were like, you know what? I was just going to send you the same message because we just started our own thing.
Yeah, Ghost, who's in the
Yes.
chat, and
Yeah.
now one of the sons.
So Ghost and a couple members broke off and they did their own thing, and so we were like, all right, well, good luck. Let's see how
Sure.
it goes. And because again, we already had this community of clans, so more clans the better, right? It can't get worse.
Absolutely.
So started SSG, and we loved TTL so much that we modeled most of it off of TTL. So
Right.
one of the biggest kind of fundamental changes I made from TTL is I just wanted it more open and transparent. So I wanted,
Yeah, that was
You know,
priority from day one.
from like a communication standpoint, from the forums to what you could see, what people could access, different levels, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I wanted all of that to be super transparent. And then we historically have never recruited. Like we don't recruit. We don't do posts. We don't go seek things out. We don't go to Reddit and the Bungie Net forums and things like
we have
that.
no
So
reason to. It's been organically growing over the
Yes.
past 10 years. It's incredible.
and I think that's what's attributed to our stamina and our ability to have lasted these 10 years. Because, it sounds like kind of an oxymoron, but we don't recruit, but people come to us, right? Like just how I and you found TTL because we were looking for those people. Right. We find these people that are lost in this gaming world that are looking for a better environment.
Yeah, nobody wants to play with people that are just toxic.
Right.
And to find a safe haven like SSG or TTL or BSG or the Howling Commandos while it existed.
Well, it's hard. It's hard to do.
It's really tough to play with people that actually care and will treat you like a human being, even if you suck at the game.
Well, this is very true, and especially in my case. But the way I found you guys in the first place was I was listening to I can't remember. I think it was Guardian Radio, the Destiny podcast before Destiny actually came out, and then they had Cosmo on as a guest. And so they started talking about TTL, and I was like, that sounds interesting. I was just looking for people to play Destiny with, really. And I went to their website, and I was like, seems a little try-hardy for me. Probably not a great fit because, one, I suck. And two, it's just like, that's not what I was looking for. So, but then I saw the link for the GGN, for the Good Game Network on their forums. And R.I.P.
Pour one out.
Yeah. Pour one out. One pours one out for one's homies. And that's how I found you guys. And I went to the forums and just started reading, and I was like, yeah. This is it. Like,
and then I shot you in the face with the tank.
Four or five times. Still haven't forgiven your ass for that.
I know.
Fucking asshole.
I hear about it all the time.
I still won't play Halo with you to this day.
That was a good time.
But it was fun.
We're gonna play Halo later.
I know we're playing Halo.
And we're streaming it, and it's gonna be fucking.
Yeah,
awesome.
it's gonna be brutal. But so one of the things I wanted to ask you about was when the Good Game Network kind of fell apart, and so for a while we had this. And I came in right at the tail end of that. So for a while, there was this network of clans that were allied with each other that sort of, helped each other out and advocated for each other, networked together, gamed together. As that started to collapse, and I think for anybody who's watching who actually is running, either a Discord or a clan, we've all gone through that. Where we're part of something and it just kind of, for whatever reason. What, in your opinion anyway, kept SSG together? Because we could have very easily just sort of spiraled downwards with everybody else.
Right. Hey, hang on a second. Neil, fuck you. Go on.
Did you get your taser with you still?
No,
hang on. I need some context for this. Hang on one second. So
he's giving us shit for looking down at our phones and responding.
You get to see me play like a potato. Yeah, you get to see me play like a potato. A rift is growing. Shout out to you guys in chat in here. Awesome to see Fred showing up. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, Neil, go fuck yourself.
Do you have to say that at least once on the podcast?
Yes, it's mandatory. It's mandatory.
Go-to, yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm just agreeing with Remy for a change. We always argue. I'm trying to switch it up. It's nothing personal. Ghost?
Oh, shit.
Everybody's going to sign off.
Oh, it was a ghost. Oh, yeah, John, fuck you.
Neil, sorry.
Yeah, Neil, ghost, apologies. Ghost, fuck you. Goddamn soulless ginger.
All right, so go ahead with your...
Yeah, so,
all right,
so what kept SSG together when the GGN was falling down?
Okay. So I'll back up 1 second, because like you were saying, when you found the GGN, or you found TTL, you found the GGN, one of the great things that we had with the GGN was if you got to TTL and you thought, TTL looks great, but they're not a perfect fit for me.
Right.
You can go to the GGN because all of the clans, they have
somebody.
Right. They have a common goal of, be good, right? Like that was kind of it. So
be good and have fun.
Yeah. But the other part
games.
of it was
that was it.
Some of them, like SSG for instance, our recruitment policy is 20 or over. Yeah. Right? So but things like OCR didn't have that requirement.
That's right.
So if somebody came in who's 17, that was they can't go to TTL, they can't go to SSG, but then they can go to OCR or some of the other clans. So there were benefits to the GG in that way,
Yeah.
right? Or you could see something that fit you more, right? Like maybe you wanted to, you could go to the descriptions and read Halo Wheelman, look at their website, go to OCR, go to TTL, go to Pretoria Guard,
awesome.
right? Right.
Yeah.
So there were all these amazing clans. So what happened is there was a bunch of things that all came together at the same time. New consoles.
Right.
Okay. So the next generation of consoles will come out. So the Xbox One, PS4, all those.
Right.
And up until this point, there had essentially only been one game, whatever Halo was, right? Halo 2, Halo 3, and then we all dabbled our feet with Call of Duties. So we'd switch over to Call of Duties, go back and forth, but even then, we're all playing one game.
Right.
We're all playing,
That's
for the
where
most
we
part.
congregated. That was where we always gravitated.
Right.
to.
We're playing Halo 3 every night, right? We're playing Modern Warfare every night.
Yeah.
So whatever it was. So then all these new consoles came out. And we lost that because we didn't have a single game, and the gaming market got fractured because all the Xbox people, a lot of them didn't like what Xbox was doing.
They jumped over to PlayStation.
So some people were looking at PlayStation, some people were looking at PC. Or some people were waiting, right? They just didn't want to jump into the new generation.
Yeah.
So you had this fracturing of there's not even a single game and there's not a single platform.
Right.
And there was this problem, the rise of mobile phones. So everybody was using smartphones. Nobody was using their computers. Or people, only used them occasionally. And so they did 80-90% of all of their computing on their phones, like we do now still, right?
Yeah.
So the forums were dying. So forum activity was going down.
I still miss those forums.
I do too.
They were so much
I do too.
They were so much
I just renewed them before we got here.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
At this point, I remember talking about this with you at some point in the last couple of years, maybe right after we moved over to Discord, which was those need to be there.
Yeah.
Because that's as important as right.
It's our archive. Historical
Exactly
archive,
right. As important as this clan is to us, that's our history.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's everything that happened up until realistically 2018.
Yeah.
Everything's on there.
Yeah.
So
a lot of shit talking.
A lot of shit talking, a lot of newsfeed worthies.
A lot of history, up and down.
Yeah.
We've certainly hit our rocks.
Yes, for sure.
SSG has not been a smooth sailing ship the entire time.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's been problem free. What the hell are you guys talking about?
Man.
But so
that's for another podcast.
Yes,
that's for another
whole other story.
Whole other conversation. But so with all that stuff happening.
Oh, thanks, Sasson.
So we had to kind of figure out a way to keep everybody together, and we tried a bunch of different things. And I think that's part of what helped. Like all of the community leaders, the overlords, what we call them here at SSG, we wanted to keep things moving forward. We wanted to progress. We didn't want to get stuck clinging to our past of we have to have the forums. Yeah. That's the only thing we're going to do, right?
Right.
So
I think it would have died out.
Yeah.
By the way, I like that you guys call yourselves overlords. Nice humble name for yourselves. So we tried a bunch of different things, and
what is that alert?
We switched out from things like creating a Facebook group to let's try that, right? Because everybody's on Facebook, everybody's mobile.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can not maybe augment the forums with adding something like that.
Right.
Do an additive feature where we can keep the forums, but then let's add Facebook or Facebook
Other ways to
Messenger, or just let's do something else. So we kept trying to branch out and do that. Eventually, some of these other platforms came out. Like we went to.
Holy shit!
Whoa, Zach!
What was
Damn,
that?
son!
Did we just get
Zach? Zach just gifted subs to like
holy shit
6 people, dude.
Damn.
Thanks, man.
Hang on.
That's awesome.
All right, on 3 we're gonna do a little.
Oh, we're doing a bit of dance.
We're doing a sub dance.
Oh,
this is a big deal.
All right.
1, 2,
I don't
3.
know it.
Just. Sub dance. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yes. Oh God, that's awesome, man.
That's
Thank you.
incredible. Thank you very much.
Look at all those freaking wolf badges. I can't even deal.
Yeah.
I can't even deal. Oh, the lighting in here is terrible. I look like shit.
Yeah, get away from the camera. You're
Yep.
gonna
Let's go back
The
here.
lighting's bad in here.
It's the lighting.
Let's
Yeah,
go back
that's
here. It's a
all.
little fuzzier. Fuck both of you. Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks,
you
man.
so
That's
much.
fucking awesome.
That's really
Appreciate
cool.
that.
Thank you.
So we wanted to move on.
I'm not fucking twerking for that. But it's not my channel. If it were, you'd get a twerk.
Oh.
But this is Wolf's. So if there's twerking to be done.
Yeah, it's just. No, I'm not actually going to do it. So and Jim Boy, yeah, we're I'm 38, Remy's 36.
38.
So you and I are the same.
I'm the youngest one here right now.
Yeah.
Yes, that's rare.
Well, you don't
always
look,
feel
but
like
you
I'm
don't look it. I mean, let's be honest.
I look fucking
Road
road hard, put away with.
Well, cavalry. So
Right.
Gambit's always our driver. So any vehicle.
That's right.
Like we were just playing GTA, and I would either get out of the car or you would drag me out of the car and you would drive. So I mean,
sorry, you're in the driver's seat.
I just know,
I drive.
right. That's how it goes. So we needed to stay agile, and we need to keep up with the times. So eventually, we went to Slack because that was one of these mobile communication platforms that still had a community, still had some channels, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So Slack was great, but there were two problems. All the messaging and everything was ephemeral. So eventually, at some point, everything started to disappear.
Right, it all goes
the older
away.
stuff disappears.
Right.
And we couldn't segregate the channels out in certain ways. So
Channel racist.
So it was hard to, if there was going to be an SSG Knights only channel versus what recruits could see, or if I needed an Overlord channel, or if we need to do, some kind of arbitration or whatever we needed. We need flexibility to say who we can add to this channel.
Well, yeah, there are specific roles in the clan that are pivotal, and not everybody needs to see every bit, and not everybody needs to have input on everything.
Yeah.
So Discord is an obvious solution to all of those problems.
So it fit all of our needs. So we were on Slack for 6 months, maybe longer than that.
I think so.
So 6 months, a year, something like that. So then Discord had already been around, but by this time it had well proven itself.
Yeah,
we did a couple of tests on it, went to Discord, met all of our needs. And so that was from a managerial standpoint, that's what I could do, right? The team, the overlords could do to kind of give us a home base, right? Someplace that we could call home and we could keep going. Since the forums were dying and people weren't, they just weren't active there. It was hard to get people to go to the forums. The mobile version wasn't great. People weren't on their desktops as much, their laptops. So we needed a mobile something. Discord gives us that, right? So, and the availability to real-time ping somebody, right? So we can ping the pregame lobby, the PGL channel is what we call it. So the PGL, you can say, hey, at PGL, who wants to play some Grand Theft Auto? Who wants to play some Halo 3 tonight? And then that gets messages to everybody's phones, right? So it was just a way
to everyone or at here, people that actually care about that game.
Right.
There are a number of channels I have muted that I couldn't give two shits about. I want you guys to keep playing it, but I don't want to hear the alerts for it. It's perfect for me.
So,
and I can have that shit up on my desk at work, and it doesn't look like, except for when you guys flood it with fucking GIFs, by the way.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That is hard as hell.
That never happens. You're exaggerating.
I'll have it open on one of my 3 monitors at work. It looks, reasonably professional-ish. And then it's mostly the SOG channel. But you guys just flood it with GIFs, and that is hard as hell to make look professional. Especially with some of the GIFs you guys choose.
So now you guys know, just flood it with lots of GIFs.
Tag me, flood it with GIFs, have fun.
That does tend to be the way it goes,
yeah. So that was like from the fundamental standpoint, right? But other than that, we needed a way to keep everybody together, right? And we still are struggling with that, right? We don't have one game, one banner to fly that keeps us all together. And what we embraced is that that's fine, right? Like
it took some time. It was a rough transition.
It is, and we just keep trying to drill it into everybody's heads that it is okay that we don't all play together and we don't all play the same games as long as we're here for the same thing, which we are, right? And so, and something like this land today proves that. Right? Yeah. We don't play with everybody that's here today.
How many people do we have in this house right
now? So
we
got 19 people, and 19 people from all over the country, and in a couple of cases outside of the country. Most of whom, have you and I ever met in person before? No. Not once. Have you and I ever met in person before?
Twice.
Once. We only met once. We met one time when I was out in LA on a business trip, and that was it.
Okay.
And you and Ashley came down.
That's right.
Came down to LA.
Yeah, that's right.
Picked me up, and then we went back to your house and played. Had dinner and played Smash Brothers for a little while. Yeah. And I mean, it was awesome. But like, other than that, like people are bringing their spouses here. Most of us have never ever been face to face.
But in some cases, like Code Monkey, who unfortunately couldn't make this trip.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
He was passing through town. He stopped. We got him dinner at my favorite rib joint.
Nice.
And Jetstream flew from Canada to officiate my wedding. He
and got ordained, right?
He got ordained so that he could come down from Canada to California
Yeah.
to officiate my wife and I's wedding.
And I think
This place is my family. These guys,
Right.
any one of these people, how many do we have? 60?
it's like
Ish?
mid
Something
60s
like
right
that.
Somewhere
now.
around 60?
Yeah.
Probably
any
30
one
or
of
40
those
active
people,
right now.
Yeah, if anyone called me and said they needed something, no hesitation.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what this clan is. It's a family, and it's so tight knit.
Yeah. And that's kind of the point I wanted to drive home, and you did a great job explaining all that. And it's something you can't explain to somebody, right? Like you can't. When people see us online, they jump into our parties and jump into our lobbies. It's kind of hard to get a word in edgewise sometimes.
Yeah.
Because we're all. It's like we've been gaming together for 13 years.
It's
Right?
almost exactly like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when somebody new comes in, right? Like when you joined.
Yeah.
And you got into the Discord and into parties and things like that, like it was pretty welcoming, right? I mean, did you feel?
Yeah, I mean, so when I came in, I really had I never tried to join a clan like SSG before. In that I had never tried to. I was looking at their. So go ahead.
Ghosts. He said, I got to see, this is Ghost, by the way, I got to see Jayman's washer and dryer one time. It was legit. This is why I love you, man.
Yes.
So, but to actually, like, SSG, or a clan like SSG, asks that you invest something of yourself in the process up front. A lot of clans don't do that. So, honest to God, the first couple of times that I played with you guys, I was actually nervous because I had gone through and I'd read all the forums and been like, okay, these guys are very particular about who they let in the door. And I don't want to. It really doesn't take a whole lot, especially online in the middle of a game, to make a bad impression. So I was very I was like, kind of. It's like,
oh shit, an overlord is here.
Right. It's like, oh god, Jayman's fuck. And like, I really gotta. But after like one or two gaming sessions.
Is this a bitty dance moment?
Yeah.
Bitty?
Oh, bitty dance, bitty dance, bitty dance. Whoever that guy who was in the chat who was like, like fuck the bitty dance. It's like, fuck that dude.
Yeah. He's gone.
He's history banned. But thank you, Clan Kelly. Thank you for your droids. They're not welcome here. But the amazing thing was that it took almost no time for that feeling to go away, and for it to be so obvious that you guys, anybody who was willing to make the investment in you were willing to make the investment back.
Oh yeah.
And that was like, okay, I'm good. This is home.
Yeah.
Like I'm and that was,
and that's
2014.
we all
2014.
Yeah, how we describe it, right?
Absolutely.
Totally.
Like I think with SSG, one of the things that we could do if you take the G out of our name, like if we took gaming completely out of this,
Sword and Shield, and that was
we are all still friends and we all still talk all the time.
We'd all still be here.
Right. We would still do things like this. Like even if none of us ever gamed again, like. This is still
there's not
home.
a day that goes by where I don't talk to one of the people, either in this house or in the clan itself.
Yeah, seriously, I talk to. I mean,
I talk to you guys more than I talk to people in real life.
Oh, I mean, anybody who's watching this who's on our Discord knows.
Yeah, we're active.
We. Oh, thank you, Clan Killer. Appreciate the follow, man. Much appreciated. Thank you. Sorry, we are trying to make this mostly about Jay, so I'm trying not to do too much stupid dancing.
But it happens.
Yeah, I can't help myself. But for what you guys have put together over the course of the last decade.
Heathen just said what up from the balcony. Is he on the fucking balcony right now?
He wants to be in.
I think.
How the fuck did you even get your ass in here?
Get in here, Jesus.
We have a
Do
surprise.
I need to sub out?
No. Here.
Come here, buddy.
Slide on in, brother. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Come here, Jesus.
So this is another one of our overlords.
This is
One of my big partners in crime.
This
right
is
here.
SSG Heathen. who you've just seen in
How
chat.
the fuck did you get on the Falcon?
Magic.
Did you? So
Wait,
let me,
did
wait.
Bot have anything to do with this?
No.
So
Okay,
so
all
hang
right.
on. So
Climbed up the wall.
let me get this straight. So what happened is, so you're staying in the room next door.
Yes.
So you climbed out the window, and Monkey
no.
crawled over to the balcony. What did you do?
I climbed up from the ground.
What the fucking hell, man?
Hardcore parkour.
Hardcore parkour.
There it is. Hey, Mike, scoot in.
Oh man.
You're barely on the camera.
Okay, I can't. Hang on.
Get over here.
There
You're
we go.
comfy. We're all friends.
No, it's fine. I literally had no idea what to do right there. That was fucking amazing.
I just wanted to screen crash also.
So,
man.
no, you feel free to stay, man.
Oh my
You're part of
god.
the family as well. All right.
See you, buddy.
Thanks, Fed. Oh, that was.
That was the best cameo I
That's
think I've ever
classic
seen.
humor.
That's
For
you.
sure.
Yeah,
So-
100%. Jesus Christ.
Oh, that was incredible.
So, what were you saying, Mike?
I don't remember.
Go on.
Sorry,
did you know
shockingly,
like a thought or something?
shockingly, this conversation has derailed just like every other
Yes.
conversation we've ever had in
Yes.
in
SSG is
SSG.
known derailing
It's
forum
what we
threads.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything.
But well, I guess sort of. He reminded me. One of the things that SSG has been awesome about is like Sons of Glitches. We don't exist without you guys. Like that. That's where we all got together. That's where our initial support for doing this came from SSG. So you guys have.
What's up, 94?
Oh, hey, what's up, dude? Put together something that is now growing outside of itself, which I think is fucking amazing.
And I gotta throw it out there that the fact that you specifically and the rest of the Overlords and the vast majority of the clan supports SOG as much as you do is fucking incredible.
We love you, man.
It's such an awesome thing for you guys not to view us as any kind of competition or like we're trying to siphon members or any of that bullshit.
Well, and to that point though, we're idiots. I mean,
Naturally.
we're not capable of being competition.
Obviously, that's the case. I mean,
Especially me.
Well, you first brought the idea.
yeah. Booker just said it. It's how we came together. That's
Yeah,
where
completely.
everybody met. And I wouldn't know you if it weren't for SSG. I wouldn't know Ghost if it weren't for Allies for the Win.
Mhm.
He was back there in the day.
Yeah.
But obviously, I'd still know Booker. Whatever.
No.
But
But like when you brought the idea, like, yes, of course, right? Like we want to foster and help this thing, right? Let's give you a forum space. Let's give you Discord space if you want it, right?
That's
Like
awesome.
do what you have the full weight and backing of SSG if that means anything to some people.
It means a lot.
whatever
to
it
us,
takes, right?
least.
So
Right.
you need to log into your EA account.
Oh, I do need to log into my EA
That's
account.
random.
Thank God. Yeah.
It's like EA, Star Wars. Hey.
There's so let me get that. There's just nowhere we can go that EA can't find us
Apparently
at this point.
not.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think it's microtransaction. That's what it was.
You've just been
fuck you, EA. So where do you see SSG going? I mean, like at this point in your mind, anyway, is it sort of like a steady state operation and like we are who we are at this point and we're just kind of and I would be, by the way, perfectly happy if the answer to that was yes. It's like this is what we are, this is who we are, and we're gonna be this for the foreseeable future. Or do you see us trying to, starting to do recruiting or starting to actively push into like games we're not in or something like that? Just like how do you? Is it a if you're not growing you're dying kind of thing, or is it we're good?
I think so. The we're not growing, we're dying sentiment that has come up a couple of times, and I think it's wrong, right? Like I personally don't feel that way. I think we have such a strong family core group of people, right? That we don't necessarily need to grow. We're not like the shark situation to where if we ever stop swimming, we're just gonna die, right? Like I don't feel like it's to that level, and so because like I said, even if gaming disappeared, from our lives, like we would all still be friends, we'd all still be family. Paparazzi's here.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
just got a picture
so-
taken of us.
Yeah, there's taking.
Yeah, so it would still be around, So
Right.
if something happened to the community, whether it stagnated in some way due to this gaming fragmentation or future technologies like it has in the past,
Right.
like we're still going to be a group of people that are still really, really good friends.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
That wouldn't change in the
And so
slightest.
we have looked at a whole bunch of different things. So when the gaming fragmentation came out and we went from just Halo to all these other games, right? Different games, different platforms. SSG wanted to embrace it, right? We wanted to foster people doing that. Like that's fine. Let's find you other PS4 gamers to play with.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
you're going to be on PC. That's great. Like I just bought a VR PC to do VR stuff with.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't tell me
And
that.
so
That's
yeah, I
awesome.
built it.
That's
So,
badass.
So I wanted more VR people to play with, right? So
Right.
I've got to expand my community because there's not too many people in SSG. Ice got one too.
Did he?
So, yeah, so it's
hell
me and
yeah.
him.
Oh, I miss Rodney.
He was going to be
yeah.
here today.
Yeah, he
I
was
know.
supposed to be here.
So
Pour one out.
yeah, so I think we've looked at other things to do to expand out and to keep us active and moving. With the technology standpoint, I think we're fine right now. I think Discord will hold us for a while. I think that's not going to be an issue.
Right.
Recruitment wise, the way we've mostly done recruitment is serendipity. People find us happenstance, just like I found TTL, right? Like
Mobius.
however it happens, in part, a lot of that is in game, right? Like we play good games. When we get into a lobby, we say, "Hey, good game!" Like da 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 da. It was great playing with you guys.
And we don't mute people.
No.
Shockingly, which the vast majority of Xbox gamers absolutely mute people when they go into a game. One of my favorite things is meeting the other players.
Yeah.
And when they see all the tags, typically they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get the bullshitter that
Super sexy
we're-
grandmas.
We are getting close.
Okay.
But we did have so
Is there most on the balcony in it?
we did have a minor technical issue because the internet here is getting clobbered.
Okay.
Shockingly.
Well, how many people are playing online downstairs?
Exactly. Exactly right. It's like really, if you put a bunch of gamers in a house and you give them
You're gonna tank the
so
internet.
okay, so in this house we've got 6 or 7 Xboxes, 4 or 5 PS4s. I don't know
Plethora of switches.
Yeah,
how
way
many
too many
fucking
switches.
Nintendo Switches, laptops, cell phones, iPads, blah 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 blah. I mean, the Wi-Fi here is getting absolutely crushed.
Yeah.
So
Sorry about the
yeah,
technical issues.
we are doing our best. I promise.
But this is also, we've got the mic down here, and we are recording the audio, so I'm going to cut this together
Yes.
as a standalone podcast as well. So if
Yeah.
if this does happen to get choppy and you can't hear what's going on, this will release in a couple weeks as a podcast.
So Jay, I do
That's
have
right.
I do have one last question for you that you brought up a couple of times,
God, where the hell is this going?
and that is
You're pausing way too much. It makes me nervous. No,
well, so you've said to both of us a couple of times that when you're listening to our podcast, you want to jump in.
Yeah.
So, is there a particular issue that you would like to? We're all friends here.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us more than others. I don't really like you all that
Can
much.
I answer?
Yeah.
He just knows I'm right. I mean, that's all what it boils down to.
Yeah, but you're not.
It kind of is.
About what?
All of it.
No. God damn it.
You did it yourself.
You did. You asked
No.
a question
Yeah.
you knew was going to...
No, he's not. You know he's not. Don't do that. You're just being antagonistic. But no, thank you so much for sitting down with us, man, and for
appreciate it.
doing this. And since we were here, we wanted to tell the SSG story,
And prove that we were in the same building.
Oh.
yeah, and prove that contrary to popular belief, we're actually friends.
We actually do
Yeah,
like each other
yeah,
as
yeah.
much as we disagree.
They haven't hit each other once so far. So.
Not yet.
Yeah, we could be in the same room without
In fact,
killing
there's
each
been lots
other.
of hugging. There's been lots of hugging.
There has been a lot of
yeah.
There has been a lot of hugging, and spooning.
Yeah.
I got my own bed tonight. Last night. It was good.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, well, I got a couch.
It's probably for the best. Yeah. So for the next, you're going to see all three of us again very, very soon.
Yep.
We're going to be doing some Borderlands 2 streaming. You and me are going to do some BL2 co-op.
We were talking about doing an Injustice stream because we got the biggest Superman fan I know here.
This guy.
Injustice 2, I just got it. Never played it, neither has he.
Yeah, I haven't played it.
Oh.
And I love the Injustice storyline, so I'm really interested to sit down and play a fighting game and talk about DC Comics, which I've become knowledgeable of late. So.
Whoa, hang on. Why?
Because I want to know why I hate it.
Okay, fair enough. That's a really, really good answer. That's a really good answer. So
and then we're going to do some Jackbox with as many people in the clan as we can. Later.
Yes.
Which is
So
gonna be fucking
Yes.
awesome.
If
all
there's
of that
anything
is
like
coming
Cards
up.
Against Humanity last night, then.
Oh my god, I was crying.
Yes, all of that is coming up later today. So
Later today or throughout the weekend, we're gonna be popping on live. So keep your alerts on.
So thank you everybody. Thank you for stopping in.
Thanks
Really
for the bits.
appreciate it.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
the
for the
follows.
bits, the
Thanks
subs,
for the subs. You guys
which
are
was
fucking
fucking
awesome.
yeah.
As always.
I was not expecting that at all. I guess Zach got a bonus check or something. But thank you guys. We love you. Thank you for tuning in the middle of the day, and we will be back very, very soon.
Are those? Is that 200 biddies from Lucy?
Oh, so it is. Sorry, the computer's kind of far away. I can't.
Thank you, Lucy.
Thank you, Lucy. Mwah. We love you. You're
We'll
awesome.
see you guys later today.
Yep, we'll see you later on today.
See you guys.
Thank you,
My
guys.
channel as well because we'll be going live halftime on that.
Yes.
So,
Keep an eye on my
Sons of
channel and
Bitches,
Gambits.
Gambit.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Hey folks, thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, do us a favor and hit that sub button and ring that little bell. You can always catch us here on Twitch and Discord. All the links are in the description, and we will catch you next time.